Okay, the first hand we're going to look at was a 3-note trump hand. Had to be made. It was in an imps pair game. I didn't make it, and it was because I didn't really put enough thought into where I might find the honors and how I could use that knowledge to make this hand or not make it. I have a weak hand. I have 12 points, but I have 5-4 in the minors, and I'll open the clubs, intending to rebid one no trump over my partner's bit of a major suit. East comes in with a diamond bid, and my partner doubles to show the majors, which is could be expected. I have the diamonds stopped, so I don't feel bad at all about bidding one no trump. And I've represented my hand as a 12 to 14 point balanced hand. East pass, and my partner puts us in 3 no trump. Partner has no aces in the majors, which creates a problem. I have 2 stops in diamonds, and I need to knock out at least one of those aces. And looking at them, it looks like I'm only going to get a shot at one of these, right? It's going to be hearts or spades. And of course, because we have 5 cards in the heart suit in dummy, that's where we would like to set that suit up. The king of clubs is out there as well, so 2 aces and the king of clubs, and those seem to be the critical cards. I can't set up the hearts and the spades, right? I just have the 2 diamond stops, so I need to find the king of clubs in west. Right? So got an idea here. I need to hook the king of clubs with 2 finesses, right? So you lead to the jack, get back over there, lead to the queen, plop down the ace, because we have 7 cards and they have 6. Right? That means if they follow 3 times, they will play their clubs up, and we can set that suit up. Same thing exists with the king, ace of hearts. Now expect the aces to be in east. Why? He's got to have some points for that overcall. I know it's only the 1 level, but he only has 3 potential points in the diamond suit. So he's going to have points elsewhere. And if it includes the king of clubs, we're in trouble. Right? So you have to just make an assumption that the king of clubs is in west. Now, where do I need entries? I need them on both sides. But if I can lead straight up to the king of hearts, I suspect if East holds it, they will play it because they want to knock out that last diamond stopper. What is the potential diamond split? Well, 5 diamonds in East to the queen, jack, and if we give him the 2 aces, and we can't give him the king, right, because we lose if he has the king, so just forget that, right? So give him 2 aces and 10 points with the queen of diamonds and 11 points with the jack of diamonds, and that seems like a good overcall and something that we can deal with here, right? So I'm going to take the first trick in the dummy here because I have 2 leads to the finesse, and that's all I want to do. And if finesse is not working, I'm out of this game. He jumps up with the first ace, and now he'll knock out my last stopper. If he has the ace of spades, obviously can't play it at that point. Uh, the spade was out, so now we can think about that. He showed out on the second lead of diamonds, so it was actually split 6-1. But here goes the finesse, and it must work, right? And when it does, assuming East isn't playing games with us, we can now go back and try to cash out hearts. They follow twice. Remember, they have 6, so if they follow 3 times, we get the suit. And then we're home free. So we get all those. Right, and now we've got 7 tricks. Now and look at club fell. And if the clubs break, then we're actually going to get over tricks, assuming that East didn't duck the first finesse. And there it is. So this is one of those situations where you create your own luck, right? I look at the diamonds. You know, they have the 10, 11 points that seem reasonable. They have the 6-card diamond suit. They had both those major aces. So I had to focus on one of the major suits to eliminate the ace, because otherwise, right, he would have time to set up those diamonds and we would be set. I picked the longer major just because there are more tricks available. If he also had the king of clubs, this hand was over, right? Because the finesse wasn't going to work. He'd be able to knock out the diamond stoppers. So you have to make an assumption that the king is in West, that it's not going to work any other way. And that's what I did. And fortunately, the king was there. And I say fortunately the king is there, but I don't mean to imply that's good luck. Because you make your own luck at bridge. All right, this is a hand that, again, didn't, I sort of got most of the time when I screw up hands because I didn't really put enough thought into the hand, or I became focused on the wrong issues. On this hand, the issue is the number of losers you have in the long trump hand. So it starts with a no trump opener, 17, right? Transfer into the suit that I have 4. So I want to make some sort of super, except saying I've got 17 high card points and I've got 4 the trump suit. The robots use a nice little system where you bid your short nest to super accept. Right? Then they can retransfer you to spades and dump you there, or put you in game. He puts me in game. Now we meld nicely in the spade suit, so we know that we have 5 winners in spades, and we have the ace king of diamonds, so we have 7 winners, and we're going to need to find some other winners. Maybe shortness in a couple roughs in clubs for 9, right? And we still need one more winner, which would be the king of clubs if the ace happens to be an east. And we talked about this, leading up at the king of clubs. Now, the thing that will happen if you don't count your losers, and in particular your fast losers, is you lose control of the hand. You lose control. And so if we look at fast losers, we can see we could lose 3 hearts right off the top, right? And we could lose a couple of club tricks. If the ace is in the wrong place, we could be in terrible shape, right? So they only need 4 to set us, so 3 hearts and the ace of clubs would do it, right? They can take 3 hearts and the ace of clubs, they can do it. So we need to get rid of a loser before we give them the lead, right? We need to get rid of a loser. What loser? Well, the heart losers, obviously, because we're going to rough the club losers, right? The long hand, we need to deal with losers. Primary ways of doing that are by roughing the losers or throwing them on winners in the dummy. Now, or the short trump hand as it is here, right? And here we do have a way to get rid of a heart trick, right? Because we can play a diamond and then play another high diamond and throw a heart. That would mean we'd only have 2 heart losers, and if we can rough 2 clubs and win the king of clubs, right, then we will have gotten rid of club losers as well, and we should be able to make this contract. It seems to me to be important to eventually be able to lead up the king, so I'm going to go ahead and take my there we go. Now, before I do anything else, trump or pulled, I've got to get rid of that heart loser, right? If I cross over and lead at the king first, all Easter will do if he has the ace is jump up and take it and lead 3 hearts, and we're down, right? So we got to get rid of that heart loser. Right, so now we have 2 heart losers, and the question is, can we limit our clubs to 1 loser? Find out what we should do is cross over. Oops, let's not do it that way because we're going to rough clubs. Right? Like I said, losing the thread. Cross over, and the lead at the king of clubs. Now, if East has the ace and he took it here, right, it doesn't really do him any good because he can get the ace of clubs at 2 hearts, but he can't get a 3rd heart because we took care of that loser immediately. As it turns out, he does have the ace. We get to win the king of clubs, and now I will just void the club suit. He takes the 2 hearts. And now we can ruff two clubs in South's hand, and we can ruff the red suits in North's hand. And we make this contract. So basic technique to get rid of what we thought could be potentially 7 losers. Right? Even if you're being taught to count your winners, recognize that, and I don't have any problems with that, recognize that you need to have a handle on how many fast losers you have in every hand, because that determines whether you can lose the lead. Okay, this hand was difficult, and again, involves trying to picture where the cards exist, but we have no, so we have to kind of picture cards where we need them. Here I have 5, 11, 12, an opening hand. This is a 12-point hand. 6, 7, yeah, 12-point hand. But doesn't it look a lot better than 12 points? And partner bids over the spade, so he has a spade stopper probably. And they bid hearts, and this is showing good support for spades. So they have the spade suits. We're kind of in a competitive auction there. They have a fit in spades, and we have yet to find our fit. I'm going to go ahead and bid because I think this is an awfully good-looking hand. And when North bids 3 spades, he is saying, I can stop the spades. So our problem, obviously, is the diamond suit. So I'm not going to walk us into an unmakeable hand, and we probably end up in another one in 5 clubs. Here we are, maybe half the deck in points. 7, 10, 22 points, a little bit more than half the deck, and in a 5 club contract, needing to take 10. If we look at our hand right away, we can see that we have fast losers in diamonds. If they had chosen to take them at first, then that would have been that. They did lead us a club, which might be a reprieve if we could figure out what to do with a couple diamond losers, right? We also have losers in at least one loser in spades. Right? Might be able to ruff the other. But we still have one loser. So we are in a bit of trouble, and the only source of salvation is the linked in hearts. Our problem here is we have 7, so there are 6 out. If they break 3-3, this is not a problem, right? Because we simply cash the ace and the king, lead another, and ruff it, and we ruff out the 3. The problem that we get is if they're 4-2, and especially if the queen is in the 4. So if it's queen 9, 8 small, we have a problem, and the only hope is that we can find the queen in east so that we can take advantage of a ruff. When there are 6 out, more likely to split 3-3. So I've got to think about, is there a way to make this? And part of the problem is this. If I play a finesse, right? If I play a finesse and the queen is offside, then they will get the queen and 2 diamonds. Should I play for 3-3? Or should I play for the finesse? Well, given the fact that the hand that holds 4 diamonds was more likely to hold the queen, given the fact that a finesse is 50-50, and a 3-3 split is less than 50, I think it might be wise to play for the split here. Because if it's 4-2, right? If it's 4-2 with the queen, then I don't get 2 hearts to play on. I don't get 2 pitches of diamonds, right? I only will get 1. It's just not enough. So anyways, I want to, let's see, I've got to win over here. And let's take one more. We're fortunate. Play to the king. And I'm going to take this finesse. And I think the whole hand hinges on the finesse, right? Because if it loses, 2 diamonds, we're down. It makes. So now we've managed to take the finesse. If when I play the ace of hearts, they both follow, right, then we're good to go. But if there are 2 sitting in east, right, we know he has the queen, so if there are 2, it's going to be in east. The question is, how do I get rid of it? Well, all we need to do is ruff 1 heart, right? Because then it'll have only one left. So we'll ruff a heart. And now we can get back to this hand, and the ace will fell the queen. And then we can get rid of another diamond loser. And might as well go ahead and just void that, so the king of clubs is ready to ruff a diamond. So we've got one diamond loser. Take our spade. And our one spade loser. Okay, so we have 5, 6, 7, 13 points on this. It's a 5-3-3-2 hand with 5 spades headed by the queen jack. So easy one spade opening. And partner uses a bid called Jacoby to no trump. This is a bid that shows 4 support, promises 9 cards, 9 trump at least. And it's also an opening hand. Now this is a gadget that has very specific responses. So what we do when we have some shortage someplace is we would bid that suit right now. So if we had one club, we would bid clubs, showing partner some shortage. Alternatively, if we had a second 5-card suit or 4-card suit that is capable of taking like 4 tricks, or a strong possibility of taking 4 tricks, we could bid that at the 4 level, right? Normally when you have one of those hands where you have a 4-level bid with a 5-card suit, you also have shortness, right? Because you're 5-5, you're going to have shortness in one of the other 2 suits. So you will often have a choice of, well, which one should we do? Here, we're balanced, right? We don't have any shortness. We don't have any other source of tricks in another suit. So what we need to do is show range. And the robot uses a system that is common, which is if we bid 3 spades if we got a great hand, right? If we were 18 points, a hand that's going to jump shift or almost jump shift, we bid 3 spades because it's a slam hand, right? We're going to be maximum opposite opener. We're going to be looking for slam. We're going to save as much room as possible by bidding 3 spades. If you have what they call a balanced sub-maximum, which is sort of like a hand that has sort of that no-trump range, one no-trump range of 15 to 17 points, you bid 3 no-trump. So you're balanced sub-maximum. I would never have this bid, by the way, generally speaking, because I open all my 5-card majors with 15-7 points. I open them as 1 no-trump. And then finally, if you're weaker than that, you bid 4 spades. There are other response systems, but this is one the robot uses, and it's not unreasonable. We have 7, 10, 13 points. It definitely falls into this balanced minimum category, so we bid 4 spades. Now we end up with a really nice spade suit, right? The losers we count from our side of the table, right? We can see we have a diamond loser, and we have a club loser, and we have 2 heart losers, but on this lead, we're going to be able to ruff a heart. That'll handle the heart loser. The diamond loser, I'm not seeing anything for it yet. Looks like that's going to stay there. So we got 1 heart loser, 1 diamond loser, and we have 1 club loser unless a finesse works. So that's all great, but let's count winners for fun, okay? And a lot of you are learning to count winners to start with, and I almost always do both of them. I'm very conscious of my fast losers, though. Right here, my diamond loser is very slow. Right? They have to, only the 3rd diamond lead would cause a loser. Here, the club loser is not fast because one of them can go under the ace. Here, I have 1 fast loser, right, with under the ace. Then the king will clean up the other one, right? So, and then I have a loser that I can ruff. But winners here are interesting. 5 winners in spades. The king of hearts is a 6th winner, made because they made it. I got 7, 8 in the diamonds, right, winners, and I have the ace of clubs as the 9th winner. And so all I'm looking for is 1 more winner. Now it's easy to say that the 1 winner is the taking a finesse, But the lead is created the place for another winner, right? Which is to ruff a heart. So we could have 5 spades in my hand, 1 spade on a heart ruff, that's 6. The king of hearts is 7, ace of clubs is 8, and 2 diamonds is 10. So we can actually see 10 winners as we sit here right now. If we give our 10th winner to be the heart ruff. Which means we have an actual chance for an overtrick, don't we, with a finesse? Because at that point in time, we won't have any fast losers. And no break there, so we'll have to go like this. We've still got the king of spades for a heart ruff. We'll go over to the ace of diamonds. Ruff this. Play the king of diamonds. Right, and now we have 7 tricks. The ace of clubs is 8, and we have 2 spades left in our hand for 10. So that's how you count winners and make it work. Now, what happens if I take the finesse here and it loses? Remember, I'm playing an imps pair game, and I don't really care about that so much. But if there is no downside to it, then you certainly want to take it. So let's say it loses. I play up to the queen, it loses to the king. They can get the jack of diamonds after that, and I will still have my contract, right? I would just lose the king of clubs and a diamond, right? And then I've got the rest of the tricks. So why not take it? It's a chance for an extra trick. And when it works, right, then we only have 1 club loser. Now, if you were playing match points and you didn't take that chance, you were in trouble. Here at an imps game, it might get you an imp or 2. And we get 11 tricks. So this is a count your winners hand. And don't forget to count a ruff as a winner. Okay, this hand was fun. I think there was a little bit of panic when I played it. And I failed to do a simple calculation. All right, so I have 7, 14, 15 points with a void in diamonds. I've got easy bids in a heart bid, and then rebids of clubs even twice. So this is a hand where I think I'm going to be doing some work, some bidding. And I start with the heart and find a fit, and west and east are bidding. One's bidding clubs, one's bidding spades. They're doing this where my partner's to have 7 or 8 points at least. Right, they're doing this bidding when neither one of them probably has more than 7 or 8, 9 points. This is something I didn't take note of, which would have at least spared me the surprise of what happened. Also, the club bid should be about 6, right? And I've got 5, right? So I should be taking careful note that clubs are likely to be ruffed. And I didn't do that, which helped to set up my confusion. Anyways, I like the whole setup. With my void, I got the ace and the spade suit, so I'm thinking we're good to go. Now, instead of a club lead, right, which makes sense, and also their clubs, they bid them with the queen. So there's obvious link there. Plus the fact I have 6 of them, they should have 6. At most, there is 1 club, and should note that the first club played could be ruffed in east. The other thing is this spade lead, and east was bidding him, right? If he has 5, 4, 3, 1, this is a stiff. So what happens in this hand, I should have been able to predict right from the start, which is that they're going to get a cross ruff going. So I do have, fortunately, I do have 9 trump, which means they can only cross ruff twice, but if they ruff, 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 I'm down, and that's what happened. So need to be a little bit more circumspect. Now, even after I did this, actually, I think I probably stuck the 9 in. Even after I take this, right, and I thought, okay, I really, really want to lead at my king of hearts, right? I'm worried, instead of worried about this cross ruff going on, I was worried about the heart suit. So I played the first club, and it gets ruffed. And this was wildly predictable, wildly predictable. And of course, it comes back with a spade. And now they're off to that rough, rough, rough. So far, the way they've played two heart tricks. Now, I got spared here, and the robot always does it, is they play the ace of diamonds first. Right? Basically, the idea is they're cross-ruffing, and they want to cash out their high card suits and cross-ruffs. So I don't really fault them, but because I also happen to be void in diamonds, it costs them the contract. Right? They've ruffed twice. There were 4 out. What's left? The ace and the queen. So I have a choice here of playing of, I'm not sure what. I mean, if the ace queen are in east and west, I'm going to lose them both. If the ace queen are in east, it's my only shot. And I have no transportation here, right? I'm in my hand. I can't lead up to the king. So there's literally only one play to make. Literally only one play to make. And that's the hope that they both fall. That they both fall. Here's the queen. There's the ace. Once that happens, their hopes of another cross-ruff are gone. In fact, east has no leads left and has to give me the 10 of spades, right? And I can simply cross-ruff the rest out. And claim the hand. So it went bad, right? It went bad because I didn't consider the fact that this cross-ruff was going to happen, which might have been a reason to lead a heart when I'm in with the ace of spades. Just lead a heart right away. Then they can only get 2 ruffs.